Are you for or against abortion? Why or why not?
It depends on the situation. I think I'm for abortion if, like, let's say somebody is raped, or, like if you're raped, why should you be forced to have a child that you didn't want? But at the same time, for everyday general people who just get pregnant because, I don't know, they forgot to wear a condom or something, I'm kind of against it, because I think you had a choice. You were not forced. So therefore, if you had a choice, you should have known better and used protection. So it really depends on the circumstance. It's not a immediate yes or no. It really depends on the circumstance. So I think if you were raped or something was forced upon you, then I think abortion should be an option. But at the same time, if you weren't, then I think you really should not have that option unless it's like a emergency, like a health thing. Maybe, like a lot of people, if they have cancer or disease, you can't have a kid, because it means you have to choose between your own life and your kid's life. So in a choice like that, like, you should have a choice, you know what I mean? Because you have to choose between your life or your baby's, and you should have the choice. You should be allowed to make a choice. You shouldn't be forced, So that's my decision.
Does your religious beliefs affect your opinion?
Oh, I'm not religious at all. So I don't think it affects my opinion.
Okay. Do you know anyone who's had an abortion? If yes, does it affect your views on abortion?
I have known people who have had abortions. I've had like students who have confessed that they've had abortions when I've taught at other schools. It doesn't affect my view, because I think everybody's allowed to have their own opinion. So for my student that said they've had a few abortions, that doesn't change my opinion of that student, and that doesn't change my opinion of whether abortion should be allowed or not, because I think it's her personal choice, so it doesn't affect my view, I don't think.
Okay. Do you consider abortion to be a murder?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I think it really depends on when I think you have the abortion. Like, if you have the abortion after a certain amount, like if you've ever gone to like a science exhibit and you've seen the way that the fetus grows, like, it really depends on your belief. Do you think life begins when you're like a cell, or do you think life begins after like you develop into a fetus? You could actually see the nose and the eyes. I don't know, because I think murder, that means it's premeditated. It means that you thought about it in advance and you did it without any real good intention. So I don't think it's necessarily murder, unless, for example, like somebody just decided to be promiscuous and get pregnant all the time and not use birth control or anything else, and they just use abortion as a means of birth control. Then I think that is kind of like murder, because what are you doing? You're killing all these babies in your stomach because you decide not to use birth control. So, but on the other hand, I think if it's not premeditated, you didn't choose to be pregnant, you were forced, somebody raped you, or you have to choose between two lives. I don't think that's murder. If you're forced to choose between your health and your baby, I don't think that's murder. You have to choose. You know how like when people kill each other in self-defense, is that murder? Not always, right? Yeah. So it's the same thing here.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.